All right, everybody, welcome back to year 2 at Portland Oakville Bible Church and Pantry.
My name is Kayla Guillory. I'm a dietitian.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chef Tim.
And we have a couple delicious recipes for you guys. So what better way to kick off the new year than with some chili?
Yeah, awesome. We're also going to pair that with a cornbread and also a chopped salad.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get started.
For our chili, we're going to start with dicing up our onions, mashing our garlic, getting all of our mise en place ready. So really having everything in place to make this recipe. If we're using TVP, texturized vegetable protein, we want to go ahead and soak that in water for about 10 or 15 minutes and then drain. If we're using ground beef, we're going to cook that thoroughly. And then after it cooks and browns, we want to drain off any excess fat.
So it's gonna resemble the same texture as ground meat, but it comes from a plant, right? And it's still jam-packed with protein. So I believe there's about 12 grams of protein in a quarter of a cup, and there's absolutely no fat. So no saturated fat, which we typically find in our animal products, right? Saturated fat is known to raise our cholesterol levels. So this is a great option, especially if we're focusing on our heart health. And I challenge you guys to try both of the chilies and see if you really notice a difference.
In a separate pot, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of olive oil, preheat that over medium heat, then add our chopped onions, garlic, fresh peppers. We're going to cook that until it's aromatic, nice and tender.
Quick culinary tip is keep the outermost parts of your onions and your garlic peels. They make for a great vegetable or chicken stock when the time comes. So make sure you put them into a plastic Ziploc bag and store them in the freezer and pull them out for a rainy day when you're ready to make that stock.
Next, we're going to add our beans, tomato paste, canned diced tomatoes, chopped chili, spices and herbs, salt, pepper. Let that simmer for about 30 to 45 minutes, stirring occasionally over medium heat.
You know, when we use more herbs and spices, that actually helps us use less sugar, right? Because we're adding more flavor with some of these other ingredients.
I'm Marina, and I submitted the Southwest cornbread recipe. Somebody at my work in Flagstaff, Arizona brought this recipe a long time ago, maybe 10 years ago, and she gave me the recipe. And of course, I couldn't find it, didn't have it, so I kind of had to reinvent the recipe. But I decided to go ahead and try to make it a little bit more healthy than adding just white flour. And so I added the Bob Bread's Mill flour, almond flour, and it was so good. And then of course I didn't have sugar, so I thought, well, maybe I'll try powdered sugar. So just kind of reinventing it along the way. And the poblano peppers, the little diced peppers in the can, they made them fresh in Flagstaff, so the fresh roasted peppers were so good. So yeah, I just kind of reinvented the recipe with what I had on hand, and it turned out really good. I hope you try it.
For our Southwest cornbread recipe, we're going to go ahead and first grease a 9x9 pan, preheat the oven to 375 degrees. Then we're going to combine our ingredients together. Our Bob's Red Mill cornmeal, our almond flour, our buttermilk. We're going to add a little bit of sugar, 1/3 of a cup of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and all the rest of our dry ingredients. Mix with 2 eggs, 1/4 cup of butter that's melted. Mix all together, pour into the pan. Bake at 375 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes until the center is cooked. Enjoy.
So our next recipe today is a chopped wintered salad. And what I love about this recipe is that it's not only beautiful with all of the different colors, but it's also jam-packed with nutrients. This is also something that you can make during the winter time. We're not worried about using lettuce, which might not be in season. So there's a huge variety of different vegetables that we can use and kind of tap into that seasonal eating during the winter time.
We're going to use carrots, celery, cucumber, bell peppers, blueberries, snap peas, jicama, green onions, tomatoes. Really the most important step on this recipe is to make sure that all the ingredients are sliced about the same size. After everything is chopped, we can add those to the bowl. And then last, we're going to add in some olive oil, some vinegar also. So it could really be any kind of vinegar. We're going to use some balsamic, but you know, it could be red wine vinegar, rice wine vinegar.
What I love about balsamic, it actually contains polyphenols, which are a great antioxidant. We're also using the olive oil today, which is a heart-healthy fat, but also helps with nutrient absorption. So absorbing those fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. We often say eat the rainbow, and that's because all of the different colors offer different nutrients. We're getting a ton of vitamin C and vitamin A from our carrots and also our bell peppers. And then our celery and cucumbers are very hydrating, so lots of electrolytes. Great way for us to get in some more of that hydration.
Wow, those recipes were delicious.
They're really tasty, you guys. So if you enjoyed today's video and you liked our content, go ahead and give us a big thumbs up, like and subscribe, and we will see you again.
All right, see you next time.
Bye.